What's up guys, over here. So for this DIY video, we'll be changing the engine oil of the Toyota Hilux Conquest. But the steps will be pretty much similar to any make and model of vehicle. So let's get started. Alright, so here are the things that you'll be needing to do this DIY. First of all, of course, the correct engine oil. So make sure to check your owner's manual for the correct API level and the correct viscosity. And then of course, the corresponding oil filter. And then the gasket for the drain plug. Gloves, of course, to keep our hands clean. A funnel when we're gonna pour our new engine oil into the engine. Oil filter wrench. And then our ratchet and socket to remove the drain plug. And of course, our drain pans, a garage creeper, and jack stands if ever you need to lift your vehicle. But on my case, I don't need because I have enough space underneath the Hilux. Alright, so the first step is to remove the filler cap. If you are having a difficult time and you have a similar cap like this, you could use pliers to remove that filler cap. Alright, so go underneath your vehicle and then locate the drain plug for the engine oil pan. So it's right over here, and make sure to grab your 14mm socket and ratchet and your catch pan or drain pan. And aim that catch pan to the drain plug. And then crack that loose. Just turn it counterclockwise. Now clean the drain hole and make sure you remove the old gasket on the drain plug or drain bolt, or if it's not on the drain bolt, it might be left here at the drain hole or the oil pan. So make sure to remove that before you reinstall the drain bolt or drain plug with the new gasket. So make sure you clean and install the new gasket on the drain bolt and reinstall it on the oil pan. So just hand tighten it, and we'll tighten that later. Then we'll just tighten it with our ratchet and socket. So no need to be very tight. So make it snug, and once it's snug, just give it about a little turn or a few turns. Alright, and then we're good. Now grab your new oil filter, and then on your oil filter set, find the correct size for your oil filter. So for the oil filter for the Hilux and Fortuner, I find that the 903-4 would be the correct size, or the one that will be a proper fit. Alright, so our oil filter for the Hilux, Innova, and Fortuner will be right over here. So it's near the exhaust on the passenger side for left-hand drive vehicles. Right over here. So grab your oil filter socket and ratchet and extension so that you could easily reach and remove that oil filter. Then just turn it counterclockwise as well. And then continue removing the oil filter. So before you install your new oil filter, make sure to pre-fill it if you could pre-fill it, and smudge some oil on the O-ring so that it will be easier to remove on the next oil change and prevent leaks. And then install the new oil filter. So I would advise that you don't overfill or don't fill your new oil filter up to the top. Just fill it somewhere above halfway, so that when you install it, it won't spill the new oil since the oil filter is installed diagonally. So when tightening the oil filter, I just like to use my hands or hand. So just hand tighten it very tight by your hand. No need to use an oil filter socket and ratchet. So just give it a few extra turn. Once you cannot turn it with your hand, that's a good sign that it's already installed properly. Alright, so now time to fill it up. So grab your engine oil and your funnel, put it over to the filler cap or the filler hole, and start pouring your new engine oil. Alright, so we'll stop right there and then check the level of the oil. So I'll just wipe the first one first, make sure it's clean, and then put it back, and then recheck the level of the oil. So we're not quite there yet. We're still on the low marker. So I want to put it between the low and high marker. Alright, so we're on the mark. We're already at the high mark, which is this one. So we're all good. So once you fill up your engine with new engine oil, just make sure that nothing is leaking underneath. So on the oil drain pan, then as well as on the oil filter right over there. So make sure everything's all good. Alright. So here's a quick comparison of the old engine oil and the new engine oil. So on diesel engines like this 1GD right here, it's pretty normal that the engine oil gets dark pretty fast after a few thousand or a few hundred kilometers. So don't get scared of that. It's pretty normal. So yep, old engine oil and new engine oil, you could see that the new engine is very clear and this one is very dark or very black. Alright. And lastly, when should you change your engine oil? So it depends on the type of engine oil that you are using. So if you're using conventional or regular engine oil, then replace it every 5,000 kilometers. If you're using semi-synthetic, somewhere around 7,500 to 8,000. And if you're using fully synthetic, then replace it somewhere around 10 to 15,000 kilometers, depending on your use case. So in my case, since I'm off-roading, overlanding, and camping, so the vehicle is occasionally exposed to high stress or high load. So I make that interval shorter. So if I'm using fully synthetic, then I'll change the engine oil somewhere around 7,000 to 8,000 kilometers just to be extra sure. Especially if you're gonna keep your vehicle for a long time or if you want to keep it for your whole life. So make that interval short. So yep, that's pretty much it for this DIY. Hope you find it helpful. Don't forget to like and share this and subscribe if you haven't so that you'll be updated on our upcoming DIY videos and other car related content. So guys, thanks for watching and see you on the next vid. Bye!